Okay, welcome to you in this lecture, and in this lecture we will discuss about states. So justify whether or not the following states are acceptable. Psi is the state, and we will prove that either this state is acceptable or not acceptable. Of course it is acceptable if the previous conditions that we have described in the previous lecture, if that condition is satisfied, then this is acceptable. Okay, so the state is given psi is equal to 1 over 3 square root psi 1 plus 2 over 3 psi 2 plus 2 square root over 3 psi 3. This is the state which is given, and we want to show that either this state is acceptable or not acceptable for a wave function. Okay, the condition, the previous condition in the previous lecture should be satisfied. Okay, and what was that conditions? If we look at the state which is given, here we can say that a1 is equal to 1 over 3 square root. Okay, yes, and a2 is equal to 2 over 3. Similarly, a3 is equal to 2 square root over. Okay, so these are the values a1, a2 and a3, and now we check that absolute square, sum of absolute squares of a1, a2 and a3. If the sum of absolute squares of a1, a2 and a3 is equal to 1, then of course this state is acceptable, okay, for a wave function. So let me check it. a1 mod square, okay, plus a2 mod square plus a3 mod square. So now we put the values. So what is the value of a1? It is 1 over 3 square root, 1 over 3 square root square, and plus what is the value of a2? It is 2 over 3, and value of a3 is 2 square root divided by 3. So you know 1 over 3 1 over 3 is equal to 1 over 3 square root is equal to 1 over 3, and plus 2 over 4, 2 over 3 is square is equal to 4 over 9, and similarly 2 square root over 3 is equal to 2 over 9. Okay, and after taking LCM is 9, and here it will be 3 plus 4 plus 2, and this is equal to 3 plus 4 9 over 9, so this is equal to 1. Since this is equal to 1, therefore this implies psi is acceptable. This state is acceptable for a wave function. Okay, so now we take some other states also. Now the second state that I am taking over here, it is just like psi is equal to 4 over 7 square root and psi 1 plus 2 over 7 square root psi 2 plus 8 over 7 and this is psi 3. Okay, So we check that either this state is acceptable or not acceptable. Of course it is acceptable if the condition is satisfied. The condition is sum of absolute square of all values. So there are three values, a1, a2 and a3. Sum of absolute square should be equal to 1, and here we check that here a1 is equal to 4/7 square root, and a2, the second value is, which is 2/7 square root, and the third value is, it is 8/7 square root. Okay, so after taking these values, sum of squares, of course, a1 square, a1 absolute square plus a2 absolute square plus a3 absolute square should be equal to 1. Okay, we check that either it is equal to 1 or not. If it is equal to 1, then this state is acceptable for a wave function. So 4/7 by the principle of superposition, the last article we have studied, plus value of a2 is 2/7 square root. Okay, and value of a3 is 8/7 square. Okay, so 4/7 means that 4/7 square and square root will be cancelled, and this is 2/7 plus this will be, it is actually 8/7. Okay, so 8/7, and here it is 14/7, and this is equal to 2. So it means that our answer is not 1. If the answer is not 1, then it means that psi is not acceptable. Okay, so there are some other examples, and I'm not doing that examples. I am giving you the assignment. You will do the assignment. The first assignment is psi is equal to 1/3 square root, and this is psi1 plus 1/2 psi2 plus iota/2 psi3. So you will check that either this state is acceptable or not acceptable. The condition is very simple. Absolute square of sum of absolute square of all these values should be equal to 1. If your answer is 1, then it means that this state is acceptable. I will meet you in the next lecture.